Hmm. Let's start with the most basic that you've talked about 1,000 times on this show, eating, right? Now, we often talk about what we're eating, and that one I'm going to leave to be because we all at this point, if you're here listening to this show, you've heard more than one episode, you've been online, you've done any basic amount of third grade research, you'll know that what you eat matters. Even though, get this one, Lee, in the world of gut disease, Crohn's colitis, most doctors will tell you eat whatever you want. It has no bearing on this disease. It doesn't matter, which is shocking because we know that your gut health is directly responsible from what you eat. But if you're eating anything you want, even though maybe your food didn't specifically create the disease, it will contribute to the severity of your disease. And it will be a much more miserable time if you're eating poorly. So we know what to eat. Let's talk about how we eat. Most of us are pelicans, right? We eat on the go. We one gulp, swallow, and down the hatch it goes. We don't chew. We're running around. Our rest and digest mechanisms are shut off because we're on the go. We're in fight or flight. You got 6 kids. You shove them in the car. You go to soccer practice, grab something in the drive-thru, drop it down the hatch so your belly's full. You get out the door. We're not slowing down. Even the simple process of touching your food, cooking your food, smelling your food, chewing your food, stimulates, it turns on that assembly line to stimulate digestive juices, to get saliva flowing, to get your stomach turning, to get digestive juices and digestive enzymes flowing. It gets the assembly line in order so the end product is a nice healthy stool where it comes out very easily. It's one wipe and you're done. It's fully formed and not horribly smelly. It's just a poop. That's it. And so we have so much dysfunction from how we're eating. We could take it another step further. I'll go into the gut disease space. In Crohn's and colitis, we have really what we've distilled it down to. There are 3 main ways we get Crohn's and colitis. And this is what I'm doing my lecture on coming up here. There's 3 ways we create or we develop Crohn's and colitis. And there are 3 things that make it become autoimmune. So we develop like an autoimmune version of this disease. So the first one we have to look at, and this isn't just Crohn's colitis, again, it's a spectrum. What is in your shoe causing your foot to blister? The more things you have compromising the shoe, the fit, the color, the dryness, the size, shape, glass, sand, this can develop what injury you get in your foot. This is how it works inside of the gut. So the first thing we have, Lee, is actually toxins. Now, I don't know if I can actually share my screen with you. I actually have a diagram I can show you to explain this. Let me see. I'll present it on my screen. Share screen. Okay, here we go. This will be fun. Let me see. Here we go. Okay, so for those watching online, can you see my screen, Lee?
There we go.
Amazing. Okay, so this is what we have here as the 3 causes of gut disease. Now, this is for IBD, but anywhere on the spectrum, depending on severity, depending on your drainage in your glass. So the first thing is toxins. That's what we're talking about, environmental. Is it chemicals? Is it pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, rodenticides, any kind of side? Is it your deodorants and perfumes mucking up hormones? Is it chemicals in plastic and all these forever chemicals we're seeing? Or is it one thing we commonly see in bowel disease is mold toxins. We call them mycotoxins. These toxins accumulate inside of the body, leading to dysfunction in your systems. The second one we see is microbial imbalances. Now we know our gut bacteria. When we're born, Lee, we are 99% human cells. 1% of us is microbes, maybe less, right? When you come through the birth canal, when you get inoculated through breast milk, all this starts to cover you and seed bacteria. When we die, we are 90% microbes and only 10% human. And so these microbes are everything. We have fungi, we have viruses, we have bacteria, we have parasites, all these little critters that make us us. We're 10 to 1. We are more bacteria and microbes than we are human cells. When these become imbalanced, we see a problem. And now in the microbe world of Crohn's colitis, the common ones we see are parasites. We see fungi or candida or other fungal overgrowths, and even Clostridia, which is a specific strain. Many of you might know of C. diff infections or Clostridium difficile. It's under the umbrella of Clostridia, and these are the microbes we see driving the problems. The next one we see is diet and nutrients. So of course, what you're eating, how you're eating, and how much nutrients you have. If I look at it like inflammation around the body, your immune system are the firefighters, right? They're the factory workers. They're the workers to do the job. Well, your workers can't do their job without tools. That's the vitamins and minerals and nutrients they need to do the job to create the outcome. Well, if you have toxins in the body, you are burning through these nutrients at an increased rate. Your body is burning through the tools. If you're a firefighter using water, nutrients, and vitamins to put out fires, inflammation, you're burning through it at an increased rate. If you're running on well water, everybody is. We don't have an unlimited supply. You have a storage in your body. So you have well water. Well, if you're trying to put out a fire, you're burning through your vitamins and minerals, your nutrients at an increased rate. You're also inflamed in the gut, so you're not breaking down, digesting, absorbing, and replenishing that well. You're going to be running dry at all times. And so we have toxins leading to gut issues. This is anybody from bloat to bleeding. Toxins, microbial imbalances, and dietary or nutrient issues. When we look at the inside circles of this Venn diagram, for those of you watching, you can see it here. For those of you listening, this is a Venn diagram. We have 3 circles: toxins, microbes, and nutrient deficiencies. Well, the overlapping areas we have now are triggers. So toxins and microbes can lead to elevated stress responses, hormone imbalances, other things. I don't mean stress is in, well, I had a bad day at work. That's part of it. Environmental stress, immune stress, dietary stress. Exercise is stress. It's a use stress, so a good stress, not a distress, a bad stress, but it's all stress. Did you have a death in the family, a horrible trauma that happened to you? Was there, maybe you gave birth? That's another trigger we see. 8 years of medical school. These can be triggers. Well, having toxins and microbe issues and nutrient issues contribute to these overstimuli of triggers. And this becomes the straw that broke the camel's back.